In terms of the guys who weren't involved in the last squad come in, we'd be delighted, I guess, to have Matt Ritchie, Matt Phillips, Steven Whittaker involved again, all kind of back fully fit.
Yeah, it's good. They're good players. Add to the squad we've already got. The squad that we had last time out, really proud of them, about the way they worked. Really proud of the guys that didn't get a game who handled that well, and what they put into it, because we had to do things behind the scenes to change our system a bit, and people had to play at position in practice games and things like that. So they did very, very well.
James Morrison, I think, was the major omission for this one because he's obviously injured. So
he got injured playing in the England game,
yeah,
which says a lot about him, because he got injured early on in a tackle, and we kept asking how he was. He wanted to play on. I think the adrenaline and the will to win and will to perform kept him on there. About half time it seized up. So James is still recovering from that. You know, he's just back. I think he had 45 minutes in under 23s last week, but he's not his best at the moment.
A lot of that squad, you've worked with them for a long time now.
Yeah.
But what did you think? Did you learn anything different from them from that game and everything that went into it? The emotional side of it, I guess, and the fight that they showed.
Well, I've got somebody that can take free kicks, that's for sure. But no, it doesn't surprise me, that attitude never does. It's strange that the actual performance itself was no one of our best, but for guts and determination, it was different class. From a coaching point of view, we only let them have 3 attempts at goals really on target when we played them in there as a coaching performance, and that was as good as the one there, the previous one, that's for sure. That's how strange football is. Opportunities we had, Leigh took them. We had better ones at Wembley, and that's how strange football can be. So their attitude never changes with this squad, and that's why people say why it's quite there's a regular bunch there. Yeah, because you can trust them. They understand what you're all about, and they respect each other.
What then do you feel about this double header, and what you feel you need to get out of it?
Well, we've got to try and win both games. That's what we set out. I don't think we ever really set out to kind of draw a game. We set out to win. If we get a draw, we get a draw. But we set out to win, that's for sure. Whether it be Germany away years ago, we put a magnificent performance. Down at England, we got beat 3-0, but we try to win the game. So we'll set out that way. I don't think we've got the physical capabilities to sit back and take long periods of being under intense pressure. Physically, we're not the biggest side in the world, that's for sure. I think the last European competition, we were the second smallest apart from Spain. So we have a problem kind of soaking up a lot of energy and pressure with other teams and physical presence. As you can see, it's a huge thing in football now, this physical presence of, if you look at Chelsea and Spurs yesterday, and you look at Manchester United, the physical presence now in the football team, it's a big plus.
In terms of the way you set up for the England game, Gordon, and taking like playing 3 at the back, is that something, an option you think you might use again in these coming games, or was that specific?
It is, because we had players that could play either side, who can go off the main centre half and go and search for people who want to try and play between the lines. So that people weren't scared to go and back themselves and go in there against people. So it's something, yeah. But sometimes when you're playing a system like that, you're leaving people out because they don't fit the system, who are very good players. You've got to try and get that balance to make sure you still have your better players in the team, or the players who are in form at that moment.
Without wishing to tempt fate, how positive for Scotland is it that it looks like we'll have half a dozen Celtic players and also Andrew Robertson of Liverpool now playing Champions League football for at least in the next few months?
It's a huge thing, playing Champions League football. I think you go back 10 years, where Rangers were playing regular European football, and Celtic, well, I think both clubs were sending about 10 players to the squads who were playing regular in European football. It makes a huge difference. It's a great learning curve for the players and how to deal with big matches and atmosphere, and how to travel, how you deal with travelling. So yeah, it makes a big difference.
On the flip side of that, I know it's not a new issue for you, but you've got guys like Robertson, Snodgrass, who are big players for Scotland, who are now not featuring regularly.
Yeah, there's There's a few. That's why the squad is probably larger than normal. We've had a couple of doctors, club doctors, phone us saying one or two of the players are playing with maybe knocks that might need to have a rest, and there's a couple of players who are not in the team at the moment. So we made the squad a wee bit larger. So we keep an eye on them, the ones who have not played. Let's have a look at the fitness and monitor how the guys with knocks are.
How beneficial do you think Andy Robertson's move to Liverpool can be for him to take it to the next level?
Well, if he starts playing any better than he has been for us, then he's got to be some player. But I wouldn't imagine. I think his experience will get better playing at that level. That's for sure. And having to win every game, and it's great because I think he's played at Hull where they're desperate to win a game or not get beat, and so he's at a club now that has to win every game. So there's a change of mindset there as well. He's been well brought up. It's a great move he's had for Dundee United to Hull, and that's helped him. This will help him again. We've got another full-back, no bad as well, that plays left back.
How much have you been looking forward to getting the squad back together after the manner in which the game ended?
I always look forward to meeting up with these guys. It's the best part of my job when I meet them. I'm only really happy in a job when I'm on the coaching field, and with these guys they're very receptive. They're good fun to work with, but they work hard as well.
Can they use the feeling that they had at the end of that game to spur them on, do you think?
I think when you get good results and good performance, that makes you feel better about yourself. And I'm sure they're not thinking like that just now when they're playing for the clubs. When they get back together again, I hope that they have a feel-good feeling about themselves. But sometimes, at the beginning of the season, some clubs have started well, and some clubs have not started that well, so they can bring their own kind of baggage with them if it's not going well for them. So hopefully when they get to the international level, they can forget, if they're not having the best of times, they can forget what's happened at the club level and enjoy working at international level.
Does the result and the performance against England give you more confidence going forward?
Well, the result was great, yeah. We could have done better at times. As I said, I thought if you looked at the pure performance, then the one when we got beat 3-0 with England was as good as that, because you only gave them 3 opportunities at goals and they scored with 3 headers. So we took a bit from that, that's for sure. And because we took a bit from that, when we look back and analysed the game, then the players went, yeah, that wasn't that bad at all, was it? And then you could take that into the Slovakia game and the England game. Because what we did was use our eyes. We didn't listen to what other people said. We used our eyes. And that become reality rather than the fantasy that goes along with a 3-0 defeat.
You look at the squad, you've spoken about it before, and it's impossible to include everyone, and fans will obviously disappointed. Callum McGregor, is he one that was close?
There was a lot that were close, but as I keep saying, if you look at that midfield and in the squad, then there's a lot of good players in there. A lot of good players in there. And a lot of players have done very well for us over the last 3 or 4 years, who we can rely on and are playing at a good level as well.
What do you expect from Lithuania? Who obviously came here and nearly won.
Yeah, they set a good standard. They've got this kind of club mentality because they've not got a big squad to choose from. So they keep their nucleus the same all the time. So it's like a club team they've got going there. And they're like a good handicap golfer who's steady all the time. So it's hard to beat a good steady handicap golfer. And that's what they're like. They're very steady. They play a system that was very similar to what we used a couple of years ago. So we know that well. But they do good things. They take real pride in playing for the country.
I think you said since the game against them here that was obviously not one of the better performances.
No.
But they
and looking back, I think we did have a lot of chances when you look back again. We didn't take them.
Do you feel that with them at home it's probably their last chance, really? They'll be coming out if they want to have any chance of qualifying?
I have no idea how they feel, Charles. You'd have to ask them how they feel.
Do you think you'll get a lot of opportunity though out there in terms of...
Well, we'll only get opportunity if we play well. Again, it's down to us. I couldn't tell you how they're feeling about themselves. I just know that I think it was 2-0. They got beat at Wembley as well. So I think we all know now there's no pushovers here in this group. Absolutely none.
Does playing on an artificial surface, Gordon, affect how you prepare or play that set up at all?
How we prepare? Yeah, we had to go and find training facilities that kind of replicate what they've got. And people think, well, it's an AstroTurf. They're all different types of AstroTurf, So we think we've got a real good one where we've got to train, and the facilities we've got to train. So we appreciate that. And then you've got to decide how many times you want to train on that surface. You've got to get that right. But the good thing is, I think a lot of the Scottish lads play on AstroTurf every now and again. So I think that's handy. We've got people with a lot of experience. I don't think the guys for England have got much experience at all.
Clearly, our main rivals now for second place play each other while we're playing Lithuania. Do you have a preferred outcome in that one?
Well, I think when the group starts off, you want everybody else to draw but you, because there's only 2 points can go on the board. If somebody wins, that's 3 points on the board. So draws for everybody would be great, apart from us.